Hey guys, welcome back to my solo progression series. In today's video, we're going to talk about training up to level 180 and the things that we can do to get our gear ready for CRA. So to start off the video, I'm just going to quickly go through what I did to get to level 180. To start off, instead of doing easy Horntail, I decided to do normal Horntail at level 160 onwards. Normal mode has a higher drop chance for the ring and the earring, so I've been doing that instead of easy Horntail. He also gives us about one level every time we kill him, at about level 160, so it's a good training method as well. Alongside Horntail, I've been doing Commercy in the background, which also has been giving me a lot of money, but I stopped doing Commercy once I got my Sweetwater weapon. It took me about a week to do it, and so I won't be doing Commercy at this point onwards. If this is your main character, I suggest still doing Commercy so then you can get more Dineros so then you can buy the Sweetwater tattoo and monocle later, but I'll leave that up to you to decide if you want to do it. In terms of training, from level 160 to 165, I pretty much only did Horntail every day. I didn't really bother going to anywhere else in particular to train. From 165 to 168, I trained at Boswell Field 4 in the Omega Sector. And then after that, I moved on to Corridor 101. And as you can see on the screen, I actually used the Fury Totem and my 2x EXP coupons and my Spirit Pendant to train here for about an hour to get to level 172. From 172 to 178, I trained at Night District 2, and I stayed here for quite a while. It does take a bit of time to level up at this point because the mobs are starting to get a lot of HP. And then from 178 until 180, I trained at Night's Chamber 2, and I'll probably be here for quite some time, maybe up to 185. Now with all the leveling up out of the way, let's go into the bulk of the episode, which will be us talking about a lot of the things that we're going to do to prepare for CRA. So the moment I hit level 170, I went ahead and did the Hyzen Temple questline, also known as the Princess No pre-quests. It's a pretty notorious questline because it is very tedious, because you have to do the same quest basically 3 times on 3 different characters. So you just have to follow the questline and just go through everything. And the reason why we're doing it at 170 is because the bosses are quite strong, and if you're any lower level than 170, you're gonna have a rough time. You're gonna get one-shotted by almost everything in the map, which is the reason why we left it to this late to do it, because it's gonna be miserable to do it any earlier, even though it's a level 140 quest. When we finish it, we get a ring, a belt, and a shoulder piece that we'll be using for quite some time, and after I got these 3 pieces, I Star Forced them up to 10. This will take a while, and I suggest you guys go in the order of Hayato, Kana, and Ayame, just because you want to get the worst ones out of the way, so at least you'll feel like as you do this more often, it will be easier. Ayame in particular is super easy because one of her attacks, actually you just need to mash the key binding for it and you will just instantly kill any boss that you go up against. I also decided to do a few more pre-quests. I finished up the Pink Bean pre-quest at the Temple of Time, which includes collecting the masks around the different areas and killing the 3 bosses along the way. I also gave an attempt at Easy Magnus, and it is quite doable. It just might take a while, and honestly, it's not really worth doing, but you can get the badge, which we'll eventually go for. If you couldn't already tell, our main goal right now is to get all the equips and then fill out all our slots. You'll have 4 rings total, and we're trying to get as many rings that can have potential as we can. So the Kana ring is one of them, and coincidentally, the other 2 equips that come with the Kana set are pretty decent, and we'll be using that for our CRA bossing gear. Another ring that we're going for is obviously the Horntail ring, which can also be potentialed and 10-starred. Which brings us to a problem where we have 2 more rings that we need to find, which aren't event rings for my character because of my self-imposed limit. So one of the rings that we can actually get super easy that can be potentialed is the New Leaf City ring. So just by doing the New Leaf City quest line, we'll be able to get 1 coin, and we can use the coin to buy the ring from the NPC. And that ring happens to be able to be potentialed, so we'll be using this as a placeholder ring until we get our Golux rings. So for the rest of the video, I'm going to go a little bit more detail about the gear that we're going to be using. The first thing I wanted to talk about in particular was the cape. In the background, I'll have myself going through the Wings of Fate questline, also known as Mushroom Shrine, because this is going to be the cape that I'm going to be using for my CRA set. A lot of people don't recommend this because the questline is quite long, and if you don't know what you're doing, it can take upwards of up to 4 hours. Even for me, I've done it 5 times, and I was basically speedrunning it, and it still took me about 2 hours to complete. If you guys aren't familiar, the best in slot cape is the Arcane Umbra cape. But this is so far down the line that most casual players won't be able to go for it. The realistic best in slot cape that most players will be able to get to is the Absolab cape, and even then it requires you to be able to do Lotus and Damien. And the cape below Absolab is the Tyrant's cape. The Tyrant's cape is a very popular choice for most players because it's easy to get a hard Magnus carry if you're part of a guild, and the boss isn't too difficult. It's on a similar level to Chaos Vellum, although the mechanics are a little bit more luck dependent. But for the most part, a lot of players do use the Tyrant's cape until they get their Absolab cape. Now, the thing is, a lot of players aren't aware that the Wings of Fate are very comparable to the Tyrant's cape. I'm going to be using my main as an example here. You can see I've got a Wings of Fate with pretty decent flames, and it's 12 starred, and it's got 9% strength. Compare that to my Tyrant's cape, which is unique with 9%, and is 1 starred. The cost of it going from 0 to 1 star can vary for most players. For me, it took 3 tries to do, so that costed about 150 mil for me to get it to 1 star. Then I have to take into account the cost of me tiering it up from epic to unique, which costed about 150 to 200 mil, and that's being lucky as well. So all in all, it took me about 400 mil to get stats that you see on the screen for my Tyrant's cape. Now when I compare this cape with my Wings of Fate, the difference is so small that it's not even worth upgrading the Tyrant's cape if you've got the Wings of Fate. I've got 5 mil range clean, and the difference between the two capes is less than 20k range. That's lower than a fraction of a percentage of range increase between the Tyrant's cape and the Wings of Fate cape. The difference in Mesos is from 40 mil for the Wings of Fate to 12 star and then get 2 lines on the epic potential, compared to a 1 star and 9% unique on the Tyrant's cape. So for most new players, it's worth the time investment to get the Wings of Fate cape if they can't get a easy access to Tyrant's cape. So for my progression series, I'm not going to be going for a Tyrant's cape unless the flames of the Tyrant's cape is so insane that it's significantly better than the Wings of Fate. Speaking of flames, there's a benefit of actually going for the Wings of Fate, and that is that you are able to re-roll the flames for free. What you can do is, after you finish the entire quest line, you'll be able to drop the Wings of Fate and then ask Tengu for a new one. And you can keep doing this until you get good stats on your cape. So you can see on the screen, I kept rolling, and then eventually I got something with a 50 flame score, and that's probably as high as you can probably get it. Personally, I would have stopped for anything that had either 5% all stat or 40 or more main stat. So it's up to you how long you want to roll for it, but like I said, you're going to be using this until you replace it with an Absolab cape. To finish off this video, I'm going to do some live commentary. So usually I do the post commentary after I edit everything, but I'm just going to wing it for this last section for this episode. So the main thing I wanted to talk about is just kind of going through the gear that we've gotten so far and what I'm going to be aiming for. So the first thing I wanted to mention was the rings. I probably said this multiple times now. We're going for the Horntail ring. We've got the John Treasure ring. We've got the Kana treasure, and this is going to be a Platinum Cross ring. We've got our Sweetwater weapon, which is good, and I also epic potentialed it. We'll get around to fixing it soon. For the necklace, we're probably going for the Alien Fragment set, so these 2 pendant slots will be Alien Fragment, and the earring will also be Alien Fragment, but I'm using the Horntail earring for the time being. For our armor set, I'm using the Necromancer at the moment because they have really good flames, but I'm planning to swap my entire armor set for Von Leon. So it's going to be 4 set Von Leon, so when we do CRA, we're going to get an extra 10% boss damage. For the cape, of course, is the Wings of Fate, and I'm going to see if I can get it to epic potential. I've got a few of them from Yew Garden, so let's see if we can get it to work. Not expecting many of them to work because I've passed a few of them already, so there's a chance that all these might fail on camera. Nope, okay, we got one. We'll fix this another time. Of course, we've got our secondary that's also epic potential. Our emblem that is also epic potential. This badge will be the Magnus badge that we're gonna slowly get towards. It doesn't drop very often from Easy Magnus, so I'm not expecting it. The medal, it's just whatever medal we have that's best. Like, unless we do the Antillean Masteria Blockbuster, but that does take a while. I might get around to doing that, but it's not that important. And yeah, we've got our shoulder piece and our belt, both from the Sengoku set, and we're going to be using it as that. And then our eye and face accessory will be the 2 Zakum equips. I haven't found any ones better than this, but eventually I will epic potential these as well. Of course, we're slowly getting towards the pocket slot. Once we get there, then we can use the pink bean cup if it drops. My next steps going forward in this series is going to be getting to level 200, getting a title that I can use. So that will be from the Silent Crusade, and also doing the Arcarian Prequest. Also for the Silent Crusade, we'll get the Platinum Cross ring. And then from there, we're gonna epic potential everything once we're happy with the flames, and then we're gonna start cubing our things. So the next episode is gonna be even more focused on gear and trying to refine the gear that we have, so then we can train faster, and also so then we can do more damage. Before we close this video, let's use the rest of these epic potential scrolls. I'm gonna be using, we're very epic potential scroll the counter ring, so I won't worry about that. Let's do the belt next. So let's see, hopefully it works. Ah, nice, worked on the first try. And we're gonna do the shoulder as well. Oh, okay, that's that all worked. They're all epic now. So that's pretty good. What else can we potential? We'll potential this ring as well. This treasure ring. Oh. Alright, that's pretty lucky. Yeah, why not? These gloves as well. I don't think I can get better flames than the current ones I'm got at here on this. So let's stick with it. Of course that fails. Alright. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. Please like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. And have a nice day.